Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, I wanted to give my thoughts, and I'm gonna be doing a Google Hangout on this later, as of, now as I'm shooting this video. So this video will probably come out within the next couple hours after I shoot it. But then I'm gonna do a Google Hangout with my boy Rafael Calvo. So stay tuned for that. But I wanted to give my thoughts on this whole Canelo WBC, him vacating the WBC title and all that stuff to not fight Golovkin. I'm giving my perspective on it. Now, we all know that at the end of the day, boxing is ultimately a business, okay? And from a business standpoint and Canelo's perspective, it doesn't make sense for him to fight Golovkin getting only 55% of the purse when he can vacate and put himself in a position to get 70% of the purse or somewhere up around that neighborhood. Now that's from a business perspective. Obviously, the fight fan in me saying this dude's a punk, he's a chump, and he doesn't deserve, and he's gonna get destroyed by Triple G either way. So what's all the holdup? Well, the holdup is he's maximizing his revenue, and this is a dangerous fight for Canelo. Stylistically speaking, I've already told you guys many times before, it's a huge mismatch. GGG will destroy Canelo. And on top of that, Canelo, this is going to play out one of two ways, okay? This is going to play out one of two ways. Number one, this fight, it's either going to happen in September, and the proposed date I've read in Dan Rayfield's recent article on ESPN about this subject suggested that a Canelo Golovkin fight, if it were to take place this year, would take place on September 17th at Cowboy Stadium. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent of this fight being at Cowboy Stadium because I feel like an event like this, in a unification, well, not a unification bout anymore, but still a big fight, a mega fight, deserves that sort of stage. I would have been a huge fan of Pacquiao Mayweather fighting Cowboy Stadium, but that didn't happen. Now, the only way I don't see it happening at Cowboy Stadium is if, like Michael Montero broke down in a recent video where he said that in Vegas they charge a lot more for tickets, and that's just generally speaking. They can charge a lot more from Vegas, and when you talk about Vegas, if they fight someone like T-Mobile or the MGM Grand, you're talking about a venue that only has 19 to 20,000 seats at capacity. So obviously, the less seats there are, the more demand there will be for seats, and the higher they can drive up prices. Regardless of how popular this fight is, they can't charge as much being at Cowboy Stadium because there's more seats, and more seats is more opportunity for more people to get tickets, and you can't price them out as high as you want. So I'm hoping that for the sake of boxing, that K2, Golden Boy Promotions, they come to an agreement and they put the fight at the Cowboy Stadium, because this fight deserves that sort of stage, not at the MGM Grand or in Vegas. But that's just my own personal opinion. I'm just a guy who covers boxing. But yeah, aside from the business standpoint, let the boxing fan in me will now speak. Canelo's a chump, right? He is a chump, okay? Because he's a chump. Because here we have a guy in Canelo who talked all this trash about, I'll put the gloves on right now and I'll fight him and I'll go 12 rounds, and in Mexico we don't mess around, and all this nonsense. He said all that, and a couple weeks go by and you decide to vacate? I mean, come on, man. It's a joke, all right? It's a joke, and I've heard many people say it. I'll be the next person to say it. That WBC middleweight title has been completely devalued since Sergio Martinez won it. When Cotto had it, it was really not treated with its proper respect. When Canelo had it, it wasn't treated with its proper respect. But now I'm glad that Golovkin has his belt. Golovkin can, and people are saying, oh, Golovkin can be in the driver's seat now. I mean, I know that this will help Canelo justify the fact that this will help Canelo justify himself fighting at 155, but with Triple G having this belt, it now gives a little bit of leverage, I feel, because now he has, all these belts. He has the WBC belt. He can now say to Canelo that, hey, we're going to fight for the title, and it's going to be at 160 because he's the champ. And you know, Canelo could also in turn, if the fight doesn't take place this year, let it marinate, wait for Golovkin to get old, and then hopefully, you know, he can fight him when he's lost a step or two and maybe beat him. But that's it. If this fight happens anytime within the next 8 to 10 months, Canelo's getting spanked. He's getting destroyed. It's not even a question. So you know, I feel like it's ridiculous. He's making a big deal. He's become a big disgrace to Mexican boxing. His whole career, for the most part, is a farce, and that's what it is, man. His whole career has become a huge farce, and he's got to fight. He's got to fight Triple G. Like, who cares if you lose and you get knocked out? At least you earn the respect of the Mexican fans and fight fans because you lost to the best and you didn't have any problem doing it. And that's what it is, man. I mean, look at Victor Post and Terrence Crawford, 2 undefeated fighters in their prime, going to fight in a unification bout at 140. Look at Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, 2 guys in their primes, going to fight in a highly anticipated fight in New York City next month. There are people that are putting their reputations on the line in boxing, and Canelo, you know, with him being one of the bigger faces in boxing, with him being one of the bigger draws in boxing, what he does says a lot about the current climate of the sport of boxing. And if he's vacating the title because he wants to wait for his opponent to lose a step, or you know, kind of, you know, just marinate the fight, that's corny, because we as fans don't want to be taken back through another Mayweather-Pacquiao situation. Yes, we ordered the fight, but a lot of people ordered that fight that weren't boxing fans, and it turned a lot of people off from boxing, and that's why the UFC, from a mainstream perspective, gets more respect than the boxing right now, because of the big debacle that was the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. So I'm hoping this fight I'm hoping this fight gets made at some point this year. I'm hoping for September. If it does get made for September, I'm going to do my best to be there. And that's what it is, man. Hopefully Canelo steps to the plate. They fight at 160, no concessions, and it's for the title. But we know that's probably not gonna happen. So I'm wishful thinking, you know, out loud here. But let me know what you guys think. Canelo vacating the title. What's your overall thoughts on it? And do you see him with any chance of beating Golovkin? Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you could love me or you could hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.